How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another Sleep Talking reaction. Moving on forward through this place will become your tomb. We're getting close to the end, so expect a lot of, I don't know, revelations, I guess. I hope, since we're getting to the end of the album, where this particular narrative, Act 2, I guess we could say, in the trilogy, where it's going. I am so excited because I cannot wait to jump into Take Me Back to Eden. You have no idea the restraint it takes to just not go and binge that album, because I've already listened to The Summoning, I've already listened to Ascensionism and Take Me Back to Eden. So like, I want to go and listen to more of that, because there's a clear-cut difference in his writing. I can see not the quality of it. The quality is the same, but the narrative, where he is in Take Me Back to Eden versus where he is now in This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Because I mentioned this in a previous video about how the juxtaposition of Vessel's mask versus how he writes and how he sings, it's super interesting to see. But anyway, this is Descending. Let's get into it. Oh. Oh, yes. This song's about to pop off. I can tell. I can feel it coming. Woo! This guy's voice. But there's that vocoder effect in it, so it sounds ethereal. Okay. Oh shit, dude. This is a vibe. This is a fucking vibe. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Oh, there was like the previous song, Distraction. There was a feeling in that song, like, because there were a lot of like ambient noises, and I mentioned that it definitely sounded like you were underwater. And what I mean by that is, if you ever heard whales sing underwater, there's this great, like, even though it's underwater, it feels like it's in this giant hall or stage or stadium, and it just echoes and fills the room, right? That's what whales sound like, basically. So there was this ambient vibe in the previous song, and it kind of carried through into this song too. Of course, being underwater, because we're still descending. Like, the drums sounded, muffled. It sounded like it was underwater. I don't know how else to describe that, but it sounded like it was being played underwater. Now, hell of a vibe for this song, like, but the demeanor has completely shifted between the songs. I feel like there was a trilogy in and of itself between The Love You Want, Fall For Me, and Distraction, where he sounded broken, defeated, head over heels in love, but the love was not reciprocated, and he's just pouring his heart out and getting nothing in return. And that was it bounced back between his point of view and then what he thought she was thinking, like something like that, right? This song, the demeanor has completely shifted. This is like, he sounds fed up at this point. Because, all right, I think he's finally accepted that she does not love him, right? Just take it all for nothing again, right? Take it all. I'm pouring my heart out for you. Take it all and give me nothing again. Create, release, shit just don't feel the same. Although it didn't sound like he sang that. It didn't sound like he sang shit just don't feel the same. It sounded like he said it just don't feel the same, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. I asked and you answered, but you eat your words in frame. That's a fine lyric, because in frame is a phrase in photography or filmmaking, basically. When something happens in frame, means it happens in sight of or in view, right? So when he says you eat your words in frame, it's like your words, whatever you said to me, whether they be lies or whether they be just hollow words, I see you eat them back up. I see you take them back in front of me. It's not like you say it for me, for my sake, and then you go somewhere else and whoever you talk to outside of this relationship, it's like you tell them the truth and you're like, oh, I don't really love him. It's like, no, you do it right in front of me. Like, you tell me you love me, you tell me you want this relationship, because the chorus in turn says you come crawling back to me, right? But I'm already on the ground. So he's already broken and beaten. He's already lying down, metaphorically. He's already on the ground, and you come crawling back, right? but you eat your words in frame. Like, you don't mean what you say, and I can see that. It's all happening in frame. So that I love that this is now, like, this is a for lack of a better word, it's a progression in the story, I guess. If we're looking at it as a whole narrative, this is a progression in the story. This is the next step, because he's for sure going through like the 5 stages of grief, but he's going through them very slowly. Like, he spends 3 songs in denial, 3 songs bargaining, 3 songs, you know what I mean? And I think this is starting the acceptance portion of it. Of course, it may not be chronological. And the next song we might, I don't know, what's the name of the next song? What is the next song? Telomeres? What? I gotta Google that shit. What the fuck does telomeres mean? Telomeres are structures made from DNA sequences and proteins found at the end of chromosome? Huh? They cap and protect the end of a chromosome like the end of a shoelace. Like an aglet? In almost all animals, from the simplest to the most complex, telomeres, I don't know how you say this fucking word. Telomeres are required for cell division. Okay, between songs like Alkaline, where he goes into a whole chemistry analogy metaphor for their relationship, and what was that other one? What was the one he was like? There was another song, oh god, or was it on Sundowning? But it doesn't matter. He's using all these metaphors that make me think he's like he probably did really well in school. Vessel. He probably did really well in school. Because this is like telomeres? It's the end of a DNA sequence? What, dude? Okay, whatever. Yeah, great. But anyway, next song being Telomeres, it could go back to a point where he was broken and sad and defeated and everything. And we might be jumping back and forth because the way he wrote these songs could just be that he was reliving certain points of the relationship or that trauma at that moment in time, and he was like, oh, I gotta write this shit down, and oh, this is a good song. So that could be his writing process. The album itself, the songs themselves may not be arranged in chronological order of what happened, right? So that's left to the listener, i.e. us, to kind of piece together if we want to sit and piece together this narrative. Because number one, it's really none of our business what happened to him. He's pouring his heart out in these songs. He's basically showing us his journal or his diary, right? And I, for one, I'm not going to speak for the rest of you guys, but I, for one, am really interested in the way these songs are written, that they paint such a narrative picture that I'm like, oh shit, okay, I like the way this is written. I want to piece it together. And some of you may relate, right? But at the end of the day, it's really none of our business. We can just enjoy the songs for what they are and leave it at that. But I'm excited to get to Telomeres and see what that song has to offer us. I'm really excited because I'm like, why would you name a song after the aglet of a DNA genome or something? What is that? Anyway, whatever. We'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, this was Descending, and nothing left to decipher in this song. I believe it's just about him, basically, in no small words, accepting that she got no love for him and he would do better without her, basically. Yeah, him saying, why don't you just say what you wanted to say for once? So that, I guess that's him just saying, stop eating your words and just fucking talk. Communicate is the key to a good relationship. Yeah, but that's it. That was Descending. We are descending further through the album, and I'm excited. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And leave a comment of what you thought of the video and whether you like the reaction or not. Oh, okay, I should say this. I just remembered. Speaking of the comments, number one, thank you guys so much for the suggestions of other bands and other music to react to. I'm basically making a list and checking it twice. Stupid. Anyway, but I will get to them in order. I want to go through this album and sort of see it through to the end, and then maybe take a bit of a break before we jump into Take Me Back to Eden. I don't know if I will, because I want to jump into that album immediately, but I also I want to, variety, you know what I mean? I want to listen to other stuff too. So I do want to go through those videos as well, and the suggestions that you guys gave. And also, quite a few of you have suggested I go back and listen to Bloodsport, but the Room Below version. Apparently it's a different version and it's more emotional because it's just him and a piano, which sounds interesting, and I might check that out. Maybe, or I might just listen to it on my own just for the sake of, seeing what that's about. So yeah, I'll get to that. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Y'all have a good one. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.